you have done your exams in a very good manner and you will be getting your marks as early as possible. Right, now we are moving to the next content, next unit, which is called as electricity and magnetism. Say the topic, electricity and magnetism. Okay, so now these are the topics we are going to see today. We are going to see the definition of electricity, types of electricity, and one another new word, electric charge, what is its meaning and what are all its types. And what is the meaning we would have learned here, and properties we are going to learn, methods of charging, electroscope and conductors, insulators, semiconductors, dielectrics. These are all new words only, children. We are going to learn these concepts, and when I teach this, we will come across what is it and what is it about and all those I will explain now. Okay, children. Now, right. First word is electricity. Say the word electricity. Okay. Right. What is it? It is the branch of physics which deals with the study of interaction of charges. Now, this word charges you need to understand first. So, children, if you are going to play, right, so you will have some energy in you, right? If you are going to kick a ball, you will give some force. Like this, your body will have some nature, right? How much work you can do, how much you can heat, what is the capacity of you to work, to study. Like that, you have some concepts which are specific to you, like that. Can you understand what I am saying? Like this, every substances in this world, or for example, if I have a small chocolates, if I go on break that small chocolates, the last piece which I cannot see through my eyes is called as atom. Okay, this atom will have three substances in it that in detail I am going to tell you. These three substances will have some ability, capacity, energy, force, however you can say. That is its particular nature, the three substances. That specific character of the three substances is called as charge. Okay, it is the what is that, inbuilt nature of the inbuilt force, inbuilt energy we can say, of those particular three substances, three particles. Okay, children. Now in detail only I am going to say about this. So without any confusion, listen to this. Okay. Now so what is electricity? It is the branch of physics which deals with the study of interaction of charges. Now I said the meaning for charge. It is the inbuilt character of every substances in the atom. Right? When these charges interact with each other, then that study, when they interact, some effects will happen. No, that interaction and its effects, if we study about it, that branch is called as electricity. Okay, right. Now this electricity is divided into two types, right? And electricity is that what we study is also electricity, and when these charges interact, and then one energy will be produced there, and that energy is also called as electricity or electric energy. Can you understand these two, children? Right. Now this electricity produced over there when charges interact are divided into two types. What are they? Static electricity and current electricity. Say the word static electricity and current electricity. Okay. Now what is static electricity? The word static, in mechanics we would have learned about this. Statics and dynamics. Do you remember that? Static means at rest, without moving. So when charges, if they are at rest, without movement, then if you study about that, study the charges which are at rest, then that physics is called as static electricity. So opposite to that, what is current electricity? When charges flow, current will be produced. And when we study about the charges which are in movement, then then we call that to be current electricity. Okay, so that is what I have written here. Study of charges at rest and their effects is called as static electricity, and study of charges in motion and their effects is called as current electricity. Okay, right, now coming to what is electric charge. So now I have given you the meaning of a charge. Now so many concepts you need to learn. That is what I am going to learn here. Right, so you are having your book in your hand, I think. Take your book with your pencil, underline the important point what I am going to explain now. Right, so first, what is atom? That is what I have told you now. When, for example, take your scale. Right, if I go on break the scale, the last undividable particle, you will say that to be undividable, but it is also divisible. The very smallest division, the last subdivision, is called as atom. Every object in this world is made up of atoms. Right? So that atom will have a structure like this. I am talking about one atom. Every object is made up of millions and millions of atoms. Right? So one atom will have a structure like this. In this atom, there is a central part. That central part we call by a word called nucleus. Say the word nucleus. N-U-C-L-E-U-S. Nucleus. Right. Inside that nucleus, there are two subatomic particles. Say the word subatomic particles. What are they? Proton and neutron. This I will say you know what is it. There are two subatomic particles at the central part. What is that central part called as? Nucleus. Okay. Inside the nucleus there are two subatomic particles. What are they? One is proton. Another one is neutron. Clear, children? Okay. Now around this nucleus some orbits are there. You will learn in your solar system now. Sun will be at the center, 9 planets or 8 planets will be rotating around it. Like that, you will have nucleus at the center, right? And you will have all other planets rotating. Like planets, you will have electrons. So that is what at the center. Now, I told you about this charge, no children. What is that charge? It is the inbuilt nature. Ability, capacity, I told you no. These three particles are there, subatomic particles. What are they? Proton, electron and neutron. Right? Proton will have that inbuilt nature, has positive charge. Electron will have negative charge. Neutrons will have neutral charge. In reverse we can say like this. The charge possessed by proton is called as positive charge. The charge possessed by electron is called as negative charge. The charge possessed by neutrons is called as neutral charge. Can you understand this, children? Right. See, children, this is a little complex concept. You are so young, small kids. Though without any confusion, listen. If you are not able to listen to this content, not understandable, stop, pause the video and play it again. So this is not a classroom, right? You will have a convenience of rewinding it, fast forwarding it. Most of you will fast forward it, but if you don't listen, you have an advantage also. You can rewind the concepts and you can make it to play again. So great advantage, great use you have when you listen to your video classes. Right? So that advantage you use it now. Right? If you don't understand these concepts, kindly rewind the video and hear the content once again. Right? So now, so what is at center I said? Nucleus. What is there inside the nucleus? Proton and neutron. And outside the nucleus you will have orbits. On the orbits what we will have? Electrons. What are the charges? Proton will have positive charge, electron will have negative charge, neutrons will have neutral charge. Right. Here in an atom, number of protons will be equal to number of electrons. If an atom has 10 protons, automatically it will contain 10 electrons. Okay. What charge proton positive charge. What charge? Electrons will have negative charge. 10 proton will have 10 positive charge. 10 electron will have 10 negative charge. So plus and minus will get cancelled. So atom will remain neutral. That is what I have given here. Atom will be remaining neutral. Okay. Okay. If atom is going to be neutral, when we can say a substance is charged? Right. See, for every substance, we can have this number. For example, if you eat daily 4 or 5 idlis, right? So some people, not more than 5 you cannot eat, right? Some of us will eat more than 10 idlis. Yes or no? No. Okay. Right. Above more than our ability, we cannot eat. Like that, every substances will have some ability, right? To accept the subatomic particles, whatever it is, proton, electron or neutron, right? So now, if the of all these three, electrons is a special member. Why? Because it is the only one subatomic particle which is rotating. The other two are locked inside the nucleus. So it will be strong, but it will remain at rest inside the nucleus. But electron is the only revolving member. Okay. So this electron only will decide whether a substance is charged or not. Okay. See, every substance will have some fixed number of electrons. Okay. Right. For example, if a family means 4 members, like that we have some fixed count. No. Right. Like that, every substance will have some fixed count of proton and electrons and neutrons. If these electrons goes excess or becomes less, then we say that the substance is charged or electrified. Okay, so this is all these concepts. More concepts are there which you will learn in your 7th and 8th standard. Okay, now coming to unit of charge. So every unit quantities I have told you the units. First unit itself we have learned measurement lesson itself. Like that, charge will have one unit. That unit is called as coulomb. Say the word coulomb. So many children will make mistakes in writing the spelling. So what is the spelling? C-O-U-L-O-M-B. Coulomb. When you are writing in full form, start the first letter in small letter. Now if you are writing in a simple form, one letter word, then that C must be in capital letters. Okay, right. Now the C. Right. 1 coulomb. What is 1 coulomb? It is the charge on 625 into 10 power 16 electrons. See what number is this? You have to write 625 and 10 power 16 means 1. 16 zeros you have to write. In that many electrons, it is crores, so many crores. What is the charge? That charge is called as 1 coulomb. Okay, so remember this number. 1 coulomb is equal to charge on 625 into 10 power 16 electrons. Okay, right. Next one is properties of charge. So very important concept, students. So listen carefully. Okay, properties of charge. Now these charges will have some properties. First one. Like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Very important point. Say it once again, children, along with me. Like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Plus and plus will repel. Minus and minus will repel. Like charges means what? Same type of charge. Like this. Plus and minus and minus. Right? But unlike charges means like this. Plus and minus and plus. Right? So these type of charges will attract. That's why I have given the arrow marks like this. They will attract. get attracted, plus and minus will get repelled out. Can you understand that, children? See the diagram? Right. Now, these charges are scalar quantity. Scalar means what? In the very beginning I have told you mechanics lesson. Quantities which have magnitude only are called scalar quantities. Quantities which have both magnitude and direction are called vector quantities. So that the definitions and all you have seen already. So charge is a scalar quantity. Now this topic, charge is quantized. Quantized means allotting number. For example, if you are running on a track, running races you are going. On the tracks, if it is numbered, first track, second track, 1, 2, 3, like that if it is written. For in your class also, if you have one roll number 1 is Arun. Like that we have one roll number now. That if we give number to a quantity, then we say that that particular quantity is quantized. Say the word quantized. Quantized. Like that, charge is also quantized. If we take an atom, we can write the charge of that particular atom in a number. So we say charge is quantized. How it will be quantized? This is the formula for it. Q is equal to Ne. What is Q? Q is the symbol of charge. Q is the symbol of charge. What is E? E is the charge of one electron. What is Q? Q is charge. What is E? Charge of one electron. What is N? A substance, an atom will have so many electrons. No. That number of electrons is called as N. Okay. So what is the formula? Q is equal to Ne. This E, charge of one electron, will have a numerical value. What is that? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Underline that value in your textbook. Very, very important. What is the value of E? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Right? Okay, children. So it is the charge of one electron. Now you can correlate. What will be the value of 1 coulomb? Right? How many electrons will be there for one charge, 1 coulomb? These many electrons. One electron will have this much charge. Totally confusing now? Don't go for it now. We will learn in a higher class. Okay? As of now, you learn Q is equal to Ne. Quantization formula. What is E? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Stop there. More than that, no need to learn anything. Okay? Now coming to this next one. Charge is conserved. That means what? Charge is conserved means already in mechanics lesson I have told you total momentum is conserved. Do you remember this? Right? How you will remember? You have forgotten it. Because you have written exam? No. Okay, leave it, no problem. This word means what? Conserved. Conserved means no change, remains constant without any change. Now, if a substance, if an atom is there, its total charge will always remain constant, it will not change. That is the meaning of this word, charge is conserved. A very, very important question, children. In 5-mark question or 3-mark question or 2-mark question, whatever may be the type of question, this question is important. Note it down and learn it. Okay? When you come to school, finish the work and come. Those who are seeing the video, forward the information to other students. You are coming to school, right? Now when you are coming back to the school, we will check you whether you have learned the video content. So don't hear as usually what you do now in this lockdown period. You cannot skip from seeing the video. So those good ones who are seeing the video, send this information to other friends to see this video and learn it. Okay. Now coming to this methods of charging. When we charge a substance, there are 3 methods we need to follow. What are those? One is by friction, charging by friction. charging by conduction and charging by induction. Okay, what are the three methods? Charging by friction, charging by conduction and charging by induction. So what are the key terms for it that I have written here? Friction means what? If you rub your hands like this, rub and see now, right? You can feel some hotness in between your hands, right? So that process, rubbing of object one over the other, that is called friction. So by friction, we can transfer charge from one substance to another. Right? Conduction means what? Now if this is having one charge, if I make this to touch my hand, charge from the scale will enter my hand. So this method is called conduction. This is example only. Okay, real methods are there. Okay. Right. So this is by touching. Conduction means what? Now if I bring an object very near without touching, then there also some charges can be transferred. I'll tell you an example. When you switch on this TV, right, your TV, by standing near it, you will feel your hands will have some movement. The hair on the hand will have some movement now. So that is called charge from the TV screen will enter on your skin. So that is an example for charging by induction. Okay. What are the three methods? Charging by friction, charging by conduction and charging by induction. Okay. Now coming to electroscope. So what is electroscope? It is an instrument to identify whether an object is charged or not. And what type of charge is it? Now, for example, if I have taken a scale, right? So now I want to find what type of charge is it having, right? So now this object I will bring to an electroscope. Real electroscope we will use in labs only, children, right? Not in our school labs. We can make it. Actually, we can make. When you come to school, we will tell you how to make it. Okay. Now we will make that. Using that electroscope, we can identify whether an object is charged or not, and if it is charged, what type of charge is it. We can find through that instrument. What is that instrument? That instrument is called as electroscope. Say the word E-L-E-C-T-R-O-S-C-O-P-E. Okay. Next. Now there are two types of electroscope. What are they? Pith ball electroscope and gold leaf electroscope. Name alone is important now, children. Its detailed working we will learn in the next class. What are the two types? Pith ball electroscope and gold leaf electroscope. Okay, this is a simple diagrammatic explanation of your electroscope. It will have a glass jar. Okay, in that it will be closed with a rubber cork. Right, one cork it will be there. Now through the hole on the cork and rod, metallic rod will be fixed. That metallic rod will have a disc on the top, and the end of the rod will have two metallic strips, a small strips. Right, now if I want to find the charge of an object, that object I have to bring near or touch the disc over here. Now what happens? If I touch here, it is by conduction. Touching means what method here I have told? The conduction. Now charges from this object will be conducted by this metallic disc, right? And that charges will travel through the rod, right? And it will come to the strips here, strip, S-T-R-I-P. Now this also will have the same charge, this also will have the same charge. Example, if this scale, consider this is having positive charge. Now positive charge I am touching here, right? That charge will enter through the disc, conducted by the disc, and that charge will travel through this, what is that? Rod, and the strips also will conduct it. Now both the strips will have positive charge. Okay, but what is our rule here? Like charges repel each other. This will also have positive charge, this will also have positive charge. So like charges, it will repel. So the strips will repel. So when the strips repel means we can say this object is charged. If the stress doesn't repel, it remains in its place, means we can say it is not charged. Can you understand, children? Okay, how can we identify what type of charge is it? There are some more methods to identify which you can learn in your other classes. Okay, children? Now, so this is how electroscope is there work. This diagram is not there in your book, I think. Just draw it at the side of your book or your classwork. Right? Now, we have to learn some of the definitions as we said here. What are conductors? Conductors means what? Conductors, they are the substances which allow current to pass through it. For example, take a metal rod, right? Take a human body, when you touch the switch in a very wrong way, you will get shocked, no? That means what? Current flows through it. Our body allows the current flows through it, right? So, conductors are the substances like our metals, right? All the metallic substances are conductors, right? Conductors are the substances which allow current to flow through them. Example I have given metals. So when you are writing in the examination, you have to write examples also, even if it is not asked. Okay. Now what are insulators? Insulators are the substances which do not allow electricity to flow through them, right? So some take example as wood. Right? These are substances, even if they touch the electricity with that wood, it won't accept the current. It won't allow the current to flow through it. So they are called as insulators. Say the word insulators. Example, wood. Right? And these insulators are also called as dielectrics. Say the word dielectrics. Now, these conductors will conduct. Insulators will not conduct dielectrics, which is otherwise called as dielectric. But we have one category of substances called semiconductors, whose conductivity will remain in between these two. Right? So, in a very detailed way, you will learn in your higher classes. So, what is a semiconductor? It is the substance. It is a substance whose conductivity will remain in between the conductors and insulators. So it will partially conduct and it will partially non-conduct or non-conducting also. Okay. There are some examples for it. Silicon and germanium. Say the word, new words to you, but understand, I will tell you where we use it. Silicon and germanium. In your phone you can see your memory card, no children. So it will be like one chip. Right? Given you remove your phone backyard and you can see some SIM slot and all. Right? Some small chips will be available. That and all are made of these semiconductors. Right? Sometimes, what is that? It will be made in such a way that its conductivity will be not that much greater or not that much very lesser. So, such substances are called as semiconductors. Okay. Now, these semiconductors, when we increase the temperature of it, it can be made into conductors. So, very important point, need-based point. When semiconductors will become conductors, when we increase the temperature. So, keep this point in your mind. Now, what makes substances to get separated as conductors and insulators and semiconductors? It is due to the availability of electrons. What type of electrons? Free electrons. I will tell you what is it. Here, nucleus is there. Electrons are revolving. Right? When these electrons are within that substance availability, I told you, every substance will have certain number of electrons only. Right? If that electrons goes excess or it gets less, then we say that type of electrons to be free electrons. That electrons only will make a substance to behave like conductors, insulators or semiconductors. Okay. So as of now you know this much alone. In a very detailed way we will tell you in your higher classes. Right. So learn all the concepts. Yes, of course it is little complex topics, but don't get tensed. Learn well. So the very simple, in a simple way only I have told you, without any tension, copy it, understand it, come to the school after learning. Thank you children.